welcome back to another episode of Boss Talk with Moet. Of course, I am Moet. You can follow me everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, anything. That's IAMMOETT. And the reason why I created this platform and this show is to be able to give a space for people to be able to come on and talk about their journeys and talk about their upcoming projects and different things like that. Whether you're a new business owner, someone that's looking to get into business, or someone that has just like started a business, different things like that. I feel like sharing our stories and sharing our journeys is very important because you can always learn from someone's journey. Now, tonight I have a super special guest. I'm so super excited about this interview because not only am I a part of their community, a part of their project, but it's super dope, super amazing, and it's just really engaging. And there's nothing like a family on a whole different side. And I have none other than, we all call him Sin, and he is a part of Puffsterz and all of that great stuff. So go ahead and introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you do, how they can follow you, how they can connect with you, and all that great stuff.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show. I've been looking forward for this one. I know we've been planning for this for a while. I'm known as Kareem. I'm actually the an AKA Sin, like she mentioned. I'm the founder of Puffsterz, which is a NFT project, and also the CEO of Puffsterz Smoke Shop. And recently, we just opened our Puffsterz Cigar Lounge that we just did a grand opening on. And you can follow us on Puffsterz NFTs at Puffsterz NFTs in Twitter, or you can follow me on Sin NFT on Twitter. All my social media says Sin NFT God, so that's how you can find me.
Amazing, amazing. So let's talk about your NFT project. What, for one, how long has it been going on? And what originally gave you the idea to start this?
So when I started in NFTs, I started in about 2000 and the beginning of 2002. It was started like everybody else. So I was trading crypto before, so I was kind of familiar with the space and familiar with how everything works. But NFTs were pretty much new to me. I previously, before I got into NFTs, I was in the car business, which I'll get into that after we finish this part. Uh, so when I got into the NFTs, in the beginning, I was trading, buying NFTs, selling NFTs like everybody else. I didn't know how the system works. I didn't know anything about it. All I knew is I knew there's something there. I just didn't know what it was yet. After a while, being in the NFT world for what they call the space, NFT space, um, I kind of realized that there's something that can be done there as a part of a business, because I've been doing a lot of research. Companies like Adidas, companies like Coca-Cola, those companies, they utilize that world. They utilize the NFT space. So I wanted to see if there's something that I can come up with and can also be a business sense, because anything I want to do in I do in life in general has to have value. I don't just create something that here you go. It doesn't make any sense. So in 2023, in October 2023, is when a friend of mine in the NFTs, we decided to start a project. So when I came to him, I asked him, I said, listen, this is what I'm thinking. There's Web3 is huge. I think I can build a business on the ground. I'll invest the money, and then we can actually utilize Web3 to market that business globally. So that's what we decided to do. We decided to build a brand globally on Web3, and that's kind of the reason I took that avenue and path, because to reach a global audience in Web3 is very fast. If you want to reach somebody in Germany, I mean, it takes seconds. Just being part of the community, like how you are. You're in a different state. Now you're in part of the Puffsters community, and we all just one big happy family, like you said.
Right, absolutely. And I love it. Like Puffsters, I was introduced to Puffsters from New Gen.
Yes, which
He was
is
like, this project is super dope. You should check it out because I feel like you will really like it. And instantly, once I got on, I fell in love. I fell in love with the atmosphere. I fell in love with the people. You guys are like all super cool. Everybody is chill. Everybody is supporting. And connecting with one another, and it's just like a fun time most of the times. So I really like that. So you said, you mentioned, briefly mentioned, in regards to you being in car sales. So in regards to that side of things, how would you say that that helped prepare you for where you are now?
Well, when I started in the car business, that was about 20 years ago. So I started, I was new also in the car business. I didn't know anything about cars, but I knew sales because I was in timeshare and real estate in the past. So I made a career out of it back then. Uh, so when I got into the car business, it teaches you how to communicate with people. First, it teaches you patience because sales in general is a very high, stressful job. you know, you always have expectations. You always have to hit numbers. You have to hit quotas. Things like that. So there's so much to learn from sales and dealing with people in general. So when I got into the car business about in 2006, I believe, yeah, it was 2006. I started like everybody else. I was selling cars, and then I learned the business and I learned everything about it. I started doing finance, and then I actually became partners with the company. So I partnered up with the company, and um, of course, when you partner up, you have a lot more responsibilities because now you have accounting, you have numbers that you have to be looking at, you have employees that you have to be looking at, you have to, so it becomes a bigger thing than it is. And that's what kind of got me prepared for what I wanted to do, is because I've been in the car business for so long, and that kind of gave me the idea that, okay, now it's your time. Now it's your time to build that brand that you've been wanting to do. Now it's your time to do whatever you want to do, because I've already did, build my career. So thankfully, I was able to get to the point where I'm at. I was able to accomplish the things that I can accomplish now, and thankfully, I thank the car business for that.
That's amazing, because I know that whenever we experience different things in life, that helps us in other areas of life. Even at the time, whenever we might not be able to see it, but later on, we're like, oh, all right. So I know that I use this, I learned this, and I'm able to implement this here. So whenever it comes to Puffsters, Puffsters Nation, Puffsters NFT, all of that great stuff, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you had to overcome with creating that project?
The biggest challenge was, well, the startup, because when we came up with the project, that was around the time when the market was really bad. It was, if you're familiar with the crypto market, the market was basically, it's called bear market. So all crypto was down at the time. The market was very rough. So that was kind of one of the biggest challenges that we had to overcome, is overcoming that bear market. And we did. And actually, things sometimes fall into place, because the way that it happened when we launched the project back then, we launched it at a time when the bear market was there. So now when the bull market's here, actually our NFTs are up in value, because now even your NFT that you bought 6 months ago or 5 months ago is now worth 5x or 4x. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it plays sometimes. They tell you, don't rush into things, be patient, and we have, because we started in October 2023, so we could have launched back then. But we became patient. We wanted to build it right. We wanted to make sure everything was ready, so when the project is launched, people are ready to utilize what they need to utilize from the project. So
Right.
that's how we became, how we now one. Like I said, if I would say the biggest challenge for me was the community, and not because of anything negative, is because in Web3 you are dealing with a lot of different mentalities.
Mm,
uh, you have younger generation, you have older generation, you have middle-aged generation, you have women, you have men, you have this, you have that. So it's kind of like you have to deal with all these kind of minds, and have to cater to every different generation. And to be able to do that, you have to be patient. You have to be very, very patient to be able to do that. And we ran the project just like a business. Everything that we've done in the project has been running like a business, from answering our tickets to solving problems to everything else, because our full organization in the project runs like a business.
that is amazing. That is amazing. And that is amazing that you started like just not even a year ago, and look at where things are now. So it's just like it's nothing but growth and growth on top of more growth. So that is super
Absolutely.
dope. So what, in regards to the community, so we have the NFT project and everything. What got you to the place of actually branching out and opening up like the cigar lounge and having your products and everything like that? Like what was kind of like that aha moment that you decided to introduce those things?
Well, the cigar lounge was from the growth of the business, from the success of the business on the ground. Because the smoke shop was successful the past year, that kind of gave me the green light that now we need to move forward. We need to open in the second location. We had plans to open the second smoke shop while the cigar lounge was actually getting built. But I hold off on that plan because my focus needs to be on that cigar lounge. We need to get that cigar lounge up and running. We need to give it the exposure that it needs, and that's what the project does. It markets for the in real life business like it's been doing for the smoke shop, by task to earn or by those reward that the tasks that the community has to do. So yeah, so I mean, it's all about the growth. Everything that we've accomplished on the ground has given us the opportunity to be able to grow, and that's why the cigar lounge was we were able to open this cigar lounge. And I don't want to say too much, but there is plans also very soon for something coming. So
Amazing, amazing. That's super dope. That is super dope. And I can't wait to see what you come up with next and all of that stuff, because I know it's going to blow our minds, of
I
course.
can't wait. I can't wait.
But in regards to, let's talk about community. Let's talk
Yeah.
about community a little bit. Whenever it comes to community, for one, how do you deal with all of the different type of personalities and different things like that?
Think of it as customer service. In a way. I mean, when you call customer service, no matter how much you curse them out, they're not going to get mad at you, you know? So they're trained to be able to handle customers, and that's kind of why I said in the beginning, the car business kind of gave me that opportunity to be able to handle all these type of mindsets and clients and, generations and things like that, because, it kind of gives you that, you kind of have to be on the same level in a way. Like if somebody was in the 20s, I have to kind of be on the 20s. If somebody's on the 50s, then I have to be on the 50s, so, and I'm good with that. I'm good with, that helped, of course, my criminal psychology and all that in college. That helped a lot with getting ready for these things. You know what I mean? Dealing with that mind, dealing with that stubbornness sometimes. Like some people are stubborn. Some people have, can uh, just lash out. You just have to be able to calm situations. But if you are the kind of person that don't have time for that or don't have the patience for that, you're not going to be successful because, like I said, in Web3, it's very tough to deal with different mindsets. That's why you have to have the patience for that, and that's why I'm very good at that.
Amazing, amazing. And that is key, because customer service is so huge, because you can't go around just being like, cause yourself to get upset just because somebody flies off the handle. Then it's like, really, it wasn't that big of
Exactly.
a deal. And you really could have handled it a different way if you would have just took a different perspective or just chilled out and let them get done with whatever it is that they had going on. So,
Correct.
right. So, in regards to community, Discord, Web3, all of that good stuff, I know that a lot of times, which I got to get back to being in our server more and everything like that. But how do you balance like that work life balance in regards to being on the server and different things like that?
You have to make plans beforehand. It's not like I just wake up and I'm like, okay, this is going to be my day. No, I plan that ahead. Like, I have in my notes, okay, today I'm going to be doing these. Today I'm going to be doing that. Today I'm going to be accomplishing this. Today I'm going to be taking care of that. Uh, Also, you're not the balance doesn't can be just by work. It has to be with family. I'm married. I have kids. So the balance has to be all around. You can't just balance your work. You have to balance your life. You have to balance your marriage. You have to balance your hobbies if you have ones. But you can't let something overtake something else. But if you have plans, if you have a plan of what your day is going to look like, or what you have your week is going to look like, then you should be on top of everything. I mean, don't over abuse, or don't over abuse your time on something. If you plan everything ahead, you'll be able to accomplish everything right. I've never, got to a point where, I mean, I'm not talking about the past because I was young, but in my recent years, I've never got to the point where I woke up and I wasn't able. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I already have my day planned out, pretty much. So it's like I said, if you want to have a successful journey, or balance your life, you have to plan it. Honestly.
That's amazing. And a lot of that ties hand in hand with time management, because time management is
Exactly.
so key. Because if you're not managing your time, then you're just like basically flying off the seat of your pants. You're just trying
Oh
to
yeah.
get through it. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
definitely key.
Oh yeah, and then I sleep 4 hours a day pretty much. So that tells you that I'm
Wow.
trying to utilize all the hours in the day I have. So,
Right. Wow. 4 hours of sleep. Jesus.
well, I mean, I remember I got to deal with people in UTC time, which is overseas Europe time, and people in Asia and people in the States, and I have to compensate for everybody. So, but like I said, hard work, and success doesn't come easy. If it comes easy, anybody can do it. Every person has their path in life, and if you just gonna sit there and not do anything about it, and you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna go anywhere.
Right. Absolutely. So whenever it comes to your journey throughout your whole life, what would you say is one key moment that was just like a moment where you're like, hey, I got to make some changes. I got to make this thing happen. I got to take accountability and just freaking do it. What would you say that moment was?
That actually was when my mother passed. That was in 2003. That was kind of my turning point, because back then I was young. I was in my 20s. Out of control, partying everywhere. Going out, doing this, doing that. So I didn't have no guide. I had no goals. Uh, so when my mother passed in 2003, that kind of was the switch. That was the kind of the, like, okay, now wake up. It's time to do something. And of course, it took me a while to recover from that because she was overseas when she passed, so I didn't get to see her. It happened sudden. So after I got back from, like, I'm coming back now to realize what's going on and things like that. Um, I sat down myself and I was like, okay, well, you partied, you did your thing. Now it's time to build your life. And that's when I actually went and got my real estate license, and I got a timeshare in real estate at the time. And I was, fortunate enough to able to, uh, do what I was able to do, and make what I was able to make, to be able to build what I can build in the future. So that
Right.
was.
Absolutely. That's amazing, because I know like a lot of times for us, like sometimes we go through a phase in life where we're still stuck in that indoctrinated state, because basically school just teaches you to be a part of something and da 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 and woo da woo da woo. So you go through some period of your life, if you haven't been conditioned like that, you go through the phase of there's going to be somebody else that's going to step in to be able to assist me with this. And you
Yep.
have to get to a place where it's like, no, it's on you. What are you going to do to be able to secure your future? So it's amazing that you were able to overcome those things and really rise above all of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's nothing that cannot be accomplished. If you put your mind into anything you want to do, you will get it done. The mind is a powerful thing. We all know that. You can't control anything, but you can control your mind, right? So like, I don't, if you have the opportunity to do something, and you have, like, let's say you have, what do you call it? You have an idea, or you have something that you want to start up, right? Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. So what? You fail. If you fail, you failed. But if you don't do it, you're not going to learn from the mistake that you did. you're just gonna keep making that mistake over and over and over, right? So that's why I always tell everybody, like, if you have an idea, do it, even if it fails, because you have to fail to learn, and you have to fail to grow. So that's one of the things that I always preach to everybody, all the younger generations, and people that are listening right now. Do not stop. Keep going. I if I can tell you how many people told me no, this is not going to work, this is not going to go, this is not going to be something, I would have been sitting on that couch right now, not moving. But because I didn't listen and I did what I wanted to do, look where we are now.
Amazing. And that's absolutely right. You got to get through your nose to get to your yeses. So, in regards to like NFT, the Web3 space, different things like that, to someone that is new, that is
Mhm.
thinking about getting into it, or that has never purchased an NFT before, never heard of the terminology or anything like that, but they've been thinking about like maybe getting into the space, what are some pointers that you would give them?
Uh, do not believe the hype. The hype is just there to, get you to get into that community or project, whatever. No, I don't listen nowadays. Like, I used to be one of those people. That's why I'm saying that, because I used to buy an NFT. Oh my God, this is gonna go up. This is gonna, and I used to get in there. Then, you start learning that you need to start doing your research, actually. Like, the word DYOR, do your own research, was created for a reason, right? So that's why you have to do your own research before you get into an NFT project. I would make sure I check out the team, right? Go on their server for a little bit. You don't have to be in the you don't have to buy an NFT. Just go on the server, see how the vibe is, see how the community is, see how the team is, right? And then do research. Look at the white paper. Look what the white paper says. If this is something that you like, then maybe this is something that you should get into. But don't get into it because somebody else told you to get into it. Don't get into it because you just saw it on Twitter. Oh my God, there's 1,000 people liking it. That means it's going to be something. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. Always research everything you do in life, whether it's an investment, whether it's an NFT, whether it's crypto, whether buying a car. Even when you buy a car, look at, do you remember when you were young and you wanted to go buy a car? Your dad didn't just go buy the first car he saw in the lot, right? What he did is they looked at the Carfax, they looked at the numbers, they looked at everything else before they decided on that, or they took a mechanic with to check the car. But if they would have been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this Toyota Camry because everybody says Toyota Camry is the best, it doesn't work that way. You have to always take accountability of what you're doing in life.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. And that is so great and so key because a lot of times we do just go off of, hey, following the trends, following what everybody else says and everything like that. So it is important to do your own research. So in
Correct.
regards to like NFT projects, let's say that there's somebody that is thinking about starting a project, different things like that. What are some pointers that you would give to them?
Starting an NFT project, don't rush into anything. Make sure all everything about the project is ready. What a lot of people do, I mean, I understand, I kind of understand why sometimes they do that, is because they need the funds, right, to be able to build what they need to build. So they mint the project, they say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and they get the funds, and then they build whatever they, in our situation, it wasn't like that. We built everything before we launched the project. So that's kind of the way I like to do things, and that's the kind of the way I would advise somebody to do it, if you can. I'm not saying everybody can or capable of doing that, because you need funding. But if you can, make sure your project is ready to be utilized as soon as you're on the market. This way, you kill all the FUD, like they call it, which is people when they start yelling and, oh my God, what's going on? Why the floor is down? Why the floor is up? Things like that. And the community start going crazy, and everybody's going crazy. So that's why, make sure your project is ready to go before you launch the project. That's the number one key for me. The second thing is, make sure you have a very good team around you, because your team is what's going to carry that project forward. You're going to be busy. As a owner of a smoke shop or a cigar lounge or whatever the case might be, I'm super busy on the ground, so I'm not able to be there all the time doing the things. So you need the team to be able to do that, right? Also, make sure all your development is safe, because there's a lot of scams that go on in the NFT world. So make sure you have very good developers that you trust, not just somebody that you hire from the street. Because remember, those developers are building platforms for you for that the community is going to be utilizing. So these are the things that I definitely would advise anybody to do before starting an NFT project.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And whenever it came to your team, how did you go about the process of selecting your team?
The selection of the team actually, of course, in the beginning, I didn't have a complete full team, because I'm the kind of person that if I don't do it my way, I just can't trust it that it's going to be done. So I was kind of involved in everything, from even though I'm not a developer by any means, but I'm still with the developer. I'm not an artist, but I'm still on top of the artist. I'm not this, I'm, the marketing. So, but over the time, of course, when I started the project, I had already the team with me from the beginning because they were friends of mine from the NFT world. We all wanted to be part of something, so I said, okay, well, I'll start up everything and let's all build it together. But over the time, I was able to bring on actually three new team members, and honestly, the best thing ever happened because they're amazing, amazing guys. So uh, you don't get lucky, honestly, that much in Web3. It's very hard to find the right people. That's why I was advised to have your own crew before you start a project, because when you have your own friends or cousins or whatever you want to start a project with, at least these are people you trust. You know that their heart is on the right place. It's all about the heart, where it's at. Anybody can come work for you and do a job from 9 to 5, like they call it. But who's gonna stay that over time? Who's gonna be that extra push? And that's why I'm very very blessed with the team that I found, and the guys that I have on the team.
Yes, and that is amazing. And the team is super dope, by the way.
Thank you so
Super
much.
amazing. The community is super amazing, super dope.
We're
So
blessed. God's
everything.
great.
All right. So let's see. If there's one message that you could leave the audience with, what would it be?
One message that I would leave the audience with. So something that I always believe in, like I mentioned earlier, is never give up on a dream. Like, just to give you I'm gonna tell you this. You might believe me or not, but I mean the guys know in the community, like everybody knows because I told them a long time ago. Puffsters was actually a dream. It started as a dream. Like I was sleeping and I woke up and it was something that I saw in my dream, right? And I could have been like, oh, I'm just dreaming, you know, it's nothing. But I actually took that message that came to me and I made it something. So that tells you that if you have if, like I said, if you have something that you love to do, something that you're passionate about, something that you want to start a business or startup, do it. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. Do not let anybody push you back. If anybody pushes you back, that means they don't want the best for you. If anybody holds you down, that means that they don't want to see you succeed. I do not let anybody dictate what to tell me or how I live my life or what I can do with my life, because I want to make sure everything I do it for the future of my family. So if you have anything that you want to do in life, do it. Do not stop. Do not let anybody tell you no. Do not let anybody persuade you otherwise. Go ahead, move forward, and get your dream done.
Amazing. That is amazing. Wow. So one last question. If
Yeah.
you could go back to before selling cars, before Puffsters, before real estate, before everything, and talk to your younger self, what would you say to you?
I would tell myself that, but do I know what's happening in the future, or I don't?
So
Like,
you you
am I talking to
going
my
back,
younger self?
so you going back, you know everything that you know now, but your
Okay.
of course your younger self doesn't.
Yes. I would say you are in times you are gonna get through. You are gonna come in times through like hard times in life. be patient. Don't let anything, like I said, knock you down. Don't let anything push you back. Just keep, staying on the same path. Now, I would tell myself, of course, I would advise myself not to get into the trouble that I got into. I would advise myself to say, you know, work a lot harder when you're young so you can retire a lot sooner when you're older. So yeah, so definitely, I would advise myself to keep pushing. And there is going to be times in my life that's going to be hard. Don't let it, don't let it affect you. Don't let it put you down. It's okay. It's, things are going to happen. Just keep going.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So again, let the people know who you are, what you do, how they can connect with you, how they can follow you, how they can do all of those things in regards to your journey.
Sure. So if you guys want to connect with me, you can always follow me on Twitter. That's my strongest account, actually, because NFTs are pretty strong on Twitter, basically. Not as much on Instagram, on TikTok, but they are very strong on Twitter. So to get a hold of me, definitely at Sin NFT God, which is SINFT God. That's my Twitter account, or you can get in touch with me on Instagram as well. Now, of course, I would love to see everybody in our community soon in Discord. Our Discord is Puffsters, so it's not hard to find. You can find it on Twitter. And our main page for the project is called Puffsters NFTs. And that's where you can basically find everything, all the information about the project and what we do.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, for coming on my platform. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. I truly appreciate you guys for watching, whether you watched live or whether you're watching a replay. You know what I like to say, that if you did not catch any gems, you definitely need to start this over from the beginning and press play, because some gems were definitely dropped. But thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate you. I love the Puffsterz community. You guys forever have my heart.
Um, we love you too. So you're awesome. You're just one of those people that, when I see in the server, you just like happy and relaxed, and you're like my stress free in the community. So I love that. And I really appreciate you bringing me on here and letting me say my story and some of the things that I went through and things like that. And honestly, my message to that young generation, like I said, be patient. Money does not grow on trees. If everybody can be a millionaire, they would have been a millionaire tomorrow, right? If you can make $1 million that easy, everybody would have $1 million. It doesn't work that way. You have to work hard for what you do in life. You have to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is amazing. Well, we're going to get up out of here. Hey, if you're watching this and you are somebody that has a story that you want to tell, or you know somebody that has a story, definitely connect with me. Shoot me a text, leave me a voicemail, 678-653-2024, or connect with me on Instagram, anywhere. Any of my DMs is IAMMOETT. And we're going to be out of here. Remember that life is too short to be anything but motivated. Now get out there and turn your dreams into a vision and make that your reality. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.